On December 31st, 1999, Panamanians celebrated as the United States transferred ownership of the Panama Canal to the Republic of Panama, ending its nearly century-long control of the waterway. In the years that followed, the canal's shipping business and value to global maritime trade grew steadily. But there was one inescapable reality. The worldwide trend toward bigger ships moving larger volumes of cargo was exceeding the capacity of the Panama Canal.
The only way forward for Panama and the international shipping community was to expand the canal. You either expand or die.
When we first started, it was more like a dream, you know. Can we really do this? Can we really start it?
For a small country, this is a tremendous, tremendous matter.
I realized that I was in the midst of a history-making project for the world, not just for Panama.
The expansion of the Panama Canal will impact major trade lanes from China to the U.S., to Europe, and to South America. Expectations are high for commercial advantages in the shipping industry and U.S. ports investing heavily in infrastructure. But there are risks in the race to capture the canal expansion's economic possibilities. For the Panama Canal Authority, it is a one-of-a-kind engineering feat that must prove the capacity of the world's best-known technologies. For the designers and builders, it is a test of international cooperation in an epic construction project where time is money on the critical path to completion. It has been more than 100 years since the SS Ancon made the first official crossing of the Panama Canal. More than 1 million transits would follow. But the canal's limits were reached as succeeding generations of ship designs began to outgrow the waterway.
After the Second World War, there was a large increase in the size of ships. And then we also, a new development came along, and that was container ships. And instead of moving breakbulk cargoes, containers became the big thing. And we could see container ships getting much bigger and carrying many more boxes than originally.
Panama was facing an issue where it was having less and less ships transiting the canal. They were getting bigger, but you were reaching a limit. The Asia trade was booming. American exports were increasing at that point in time. So Panama was, of course, compelled to expand its canal to cater the need and the requirements of larger ships in global shipping.
The Panama Canal Authority, also known as the ACP, was determined to maintain the canal's competitiveness.
I decided to put together what I call the Canal Capacity Study Team. And I asked for them to start looking at every single study that has been made on the Panama Canal, and also to start solving the problem of how we can add more capacity to the Panama Canal.
Su respaldo y tuvo fe en este canal.
Under the leadership of Alberto Alemán Zubieta, the Panama Canal expansion plan was conceived, and a team of well-trained people were assembled. But it would be up to the next administrator, Jorge Quijano, to turn the plan into a reality.
2002 became very important to the Panama Canal because that's when China joins the World Trade Organization, and here comes this bomb. You know, it was like day and night. Containers took over. What used to be a bulker canal became a container canal. And by 2007, we had reached 50% of our revenue stream coming from the container business.
Panamax is a term used to classify the largest size ships that can fit within the existing Panama Canal and its lock systems.
You're talking about a Panamax ship carrying 4,400 containers. That is a really big ship. If you're talking about a container ship carrying 8,000 containers, that's a huge ship. And now you're talking about some of the ships being 12, 13, 14,000 container capacity vessels.